This is the Bracketologists, your home for March Madness coverage.
How's it going, guys? I'm Brandon Matula. The first 2 days of March Madness are behind us, and boy, was it very exciting to watch. We had great things from close games, great individual performances, and upsets. Speaking of, let's check out some highlights from the first two nights. We'll start out with night one between 2-seed Kentucky and 15-seed St. Peter's. This game was neck and neck the entire way. We'll start things off in the second period towards the end when Notre got a clutch three-pointer for the Peacocks. Kentucky would then try to respond with a three of their own, and they would pull ahead 71-69. At this point, when I was watching, I thought the Wildcats were going to pull away, but it wasn't until Notre made a crazy circus shot. Gosh, I don't know how that one went in, but it did. 71 tied right before regulation ends, and the Wildcats couldn't get a clutch shot up. And in overtime, it really seemed that the Wildcats were going to run away with it. Shebewe got 4 points right out the gate to start out, so I thought they were going to pull from here. But Notre, again, a clutch three-pointer to put them ahead, and then nice inside play by the Peacocks, and they would pull ahead by 3. They would extend by making free throws, and then Kentucky would try their best to pull themselves back up into the game, but they just could not do it. The Peacocks pull off the 15-2 upset. Craziness, y'all. It's truly madness season. They ended up winning 85-79 in overtime. They end up facing Murray State, who pulled out 92-87 over San Francisco, and that's going to be a great matchup. High seeds in that matchup, so I'm excited to watch that one. Texas, unlike what I predicted the other day with Virginia Tech, they ended up prevailing over the Hokies, so I was really surprised about that. They will go to face 3-seed Purdue. Purdue had a strong showing against Yale, really controlled the glass very well, and they look to do that against the Longhorns. And further up, we got a 4 and 5 seed matchup. That'll be a fun one between St. Mary's and UCLA. Not really sure which team to take in this scenario. UCLA is really hot right now in my eyes. They did great against the Zips. Great finish to the game. I know the score's close, but they really played great down the stretch to seal their win. And St. Mary's, as you could see with their score against Indiana, we were talking about how good Indiana was, but St. Mary's showed us why they are 5 seed. So that's going to be a great matchup. And then Baylor, big win over Norfolk State, 85-49. Crazy big win for the Bears. They look to face North Carolina, who's coming off of a big win of their own. I really think North Carolina can take this win over the Bears. They'll just have to play great defense and really tire this 7-man rotation Bears out. Let's check things out in the West region. Gonzaga prevails over Georgia State at a 16 seed, 93-72. Let me tell you guys, this game may look like it was a blowout, but it was not for 90% of the game. Gonzaga really struggled against Georgia State, but Georgia State suffered an injury to one of their big men and got into some foul trouble and wasn't able to compete with Chet Holmgren out of Gonzaga, and they ended up prevailing, but their game against 9-seed Memphis is going to be very telling because they did great against Boise State. Jalen Duren has looked incredible in the tournament so far, and he has been this entire month. We almost covered this game as the main highlight game, but Kentucky was a little bit more interesting. A 2-seed losing, it was pretty big. UConn loses to 12-seed New Mexico State. They did great from the perimeter, and they looked to do that against 4-seed Arkansas. Arkansas almost lost to 13-seed Vermont. It would have been interesting to see a 12 versus 13 seed second-round game. That would have been fun to watch. New Mexico State and Arkansas should be a great game. High scoring. I like Arkansas in this one because of their defense. I imagine it's better than New Mexico State's because of the competition they've played, but who knows? We'll see. Next up, we got Notre Dame and Texas Tech in the round of 32. As I've made the case clear in past episodes, Alabama has just not looked good in the month of March. Notre Dame just really proved their worth as a team in this tournament because a lot of people thought they didn't really belong here, and they're really showing the world that they do. They're a top 32 team in the world according to this tournament, so that is great stuff for them. Texas Tech, though, dominated against Montana State, so they continue in their quest to make it really far in this tournament. I'm excited for this matchup. This one will be fun. And then Michigan State and Duke, last matchup in this section of the bracket. Duke looked pretty good against Cal State Fullerton. They had some hiccups here and there, a few turnovers that could have been avoided, but I mean, that happens, especially in the first round. It's good that they got their jitters out. I think they can make a really deep run this year. We'll have to see how they do. And then Michigan State, really close game against Davidson. In my eyes, this matchup was really a 50-50 kind of game. Davidson really could have been a higher seed, but they lost their conference championship to Richmond, who pulled an upset themselves. But Michigan State prevails, and they look to face the Blue Devils, in whom they beat in 2018 when Zion Williamson was a Blue Devil. So if they were able to do it then, I feel like they can do it now against the Blue Devils. We will have to see. Last highlights we'll look at tonight. This one between 4-seed Illinois and 13-seed Chattanooga. Cockburn giving Illinois their first lead of the game. I could not believe they got their first lead with 40 seconds left. Chattanooga would respond, shoot some free throws and make them, and then Illinois would do the same thing and put themselves up by 1. Chattanooga would try to get a shot up. It was blocked. Malachi Smith tried to get something going, and it couldn't go. Illinois pulls away from Chattanooga. They win this one 54-53. They advanced to play 5-seed Houston, who really trounced over UAB, led the entire time, shot really well. If they can shoot well against Illinois, they might go past them. We'll have to see. Arizona advancing, winning 87-70, and they will face TCU, who won pretty convincingly against Seton Hall. I'm very excited for this 1 versus 9 seed matchup. I really think TCU can give Arizona a run for their money. We'll have to see how that goes. Michigan winning on night 1 over Colorado State, the first game. Surprised me there. Tennessee, 3 seed, winning over Longwood. Should be a great matchup between the Volunteers and the Wolverines. And then Ohio State pulling ahead of Loyola. No Cinderella this year. Villanova awaits them as a 2 seed after winning by 20 over Delaware. Capping things off in the Midwest region, Kansas, the 1 seed, dominates Texas Southern, and they await 9-seeded Creighton, who played a very close contest with San Diego State, barely pulled out in overtime. That was a fun one to watch. One of their big guys went down. Hope he returns to the tournament. Richmond making a big upset over Big Ten champion Iowa. This one really surprised me and shattered a lot of brackets. I'm sure it shattered some of y'all's. It definitely shattered mine. They await 4-seeded Providence, who I predicted would lose to South Dakota State, but we're not going to talk about that. Iowa State awaiting 3-seed Wisconsin. As I told y'all, do not pick LSU, and I ended up being right. It ended up being closer than I would think, but I ended up being right. Iowa State playing Wisconsin. I'm excited for that matchup. Wisconsin playing Colgate pretty close, so we'll have to see how they do against Iowa State. And then Miami beating USC, a 7 seed, an upset there, and then they await Auburn at the 2 seed, who hasn't been really consistent lately as a team, so we'll have to see how they do in the round of 32. As promised, we're going to be going over the scoreboard for our bracket contest. Let's check it out. At number 1, we've got depressed Oklahoma State fan. Congrats, Austin. Great pick so far. You've got 270 points. At number 2, we've got Bulge Bomb. Seems that you've picked Villanova to win it all. Great pick. I also have them winning it all. Number 3, we got Perfecto Bracchetto. You've got Gonzaga, just like Austin, winning it all. So great picks, you guys. Best of luck going forward. That about wraps things up today for us at the Bracketologists. Be expecting a video on Sunday covering the round of 32 and beyond. We'll find out who's in the Sweet 16 this weekend, so that's really exciting. Besides that, we'll also be releasing our regularly scheduled podcast on Tuesday with Tommy and myself, just going over the first weekend and everything ahead of us. But that wraps things up for us today at the Bracketologist. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend watching some basketball. We'll see you guys next time.
This has been the Bracketologists. We'll see you on Monday.